I was selected for Caterpillar, which had come to recruitment to the DC campus for the first time. It had made the basic cutoff as 70%, and the branches open for it were mechanical and production. No other branches were open. So approximately 60 to 70 students from our college were eligible to appear for it. The test consisted of 40 questions, for which the time allotted was around 60 minutes. It consisted of 5 questions on English, and the rest was technical. The topics on which emphasis was laid on was strength of materials and fluid mechanics. The question on fluid mechanics were a bit on the tougher side, and the rest was quite basic, mediocre level. I won't say it was very easy. After this, 24 students were selected for the group discussion, and 4 groups were made, so 6 students each. So each and every student got an opportunity to speak in the GD. They were just looking whether you can present your views or not. People who were less confident, even they were given a chance to speak over there. Then 8 students were shortlisted after the GDs, and they went ahead with the interview. The interviews lasted for around 15-20 minutes per student, and finally two students were selected from our college. The topic for my GD was, which is more important for an organization, its consumers or the employees? So it's basically a neutral topic. So I would suggest that a person shouldn't take a stand completely towards one side. I started the GD and I was neutral, although I had a biased opinion about the employees of the company, which I believe helped me as all the students were against this. So I got a huge chance to speak over there and express my views. After this I was selected. Then coming to the interview procedure, the panel consisted of 4 people, 3 technical and 1 HR. So the interview was started by the HR guy. He asked me about myself. So I spoke for around 5 minutes. I explained him my family background, my education, and I spoke about my internships. By that time I had done 3 internships, so I told him about that, which impressed him a bit. The HR guy was an engineer, so he started by asking technical questions. The first question was, what is tensile stress? So I explained him quite clearly, stating that it's the internal resisting force developed when an object is strained. So as questions arise from the previous question or the answer you give, so the next question immediately was, what is strain? So I answered that quite simply. Then they shifted towards their machinery. So they asked me, what would happen if the machines are made of steel? So that question puzzled me a bit, as I wasn't sure of which material they are made. I told them clearly that I wasn't aware of which material they are made. So the next question was, what would happen if we make them of steel? And what are the benefits? Then I said that the basic excavator, because it needs to be hard enough to dig the ground or pick up mines and dig mines and pull out minerals. So I told him that needs to be a hard part, so preferably I would go for cast iron. Then they asked me the percentages of carbon present in both cast iron and steel, which I easily explained. Then then the interview drifted towards HR. A technical part wasn't much required over there, as the basic cutoff was cleared 70%, so they weren't concentrating on technical much. Then the HR questions were, what are your strengths, weaknesses? The question which they posed in front of me, like, I being from Delhi, have stayed in Delhi throughout my life, so they doubted whether I would come to Chennai or not. So I had to convince them a bit on this part, like, because I had found suitable colleges and schools throughout my life, so that's why I didn't get an opportunity to move out of Delhi. But if given an opportunity to join a company like Caterpillar, I would definitely go out. So this is how the interview ended. However, they asked me if I had any queries. So as told in their presentation, I asked them whether they send us for further studies ahead to foreign countries or India itself for masters. So they said that we aren't committing it, but yes, we do send people for further studies. That's it. The basic tips which I would like to give, which I believe helped me a lot. Firstly, my GD according to me was very nice. I was able to speak really well and present my views over there. Secondly, I feel that one should directly tell them if you don't know about the topic. I didn't try to confuse them, or I never guessed questions over there. The ones on which I was sure about, I gave them the answer. Otherwise, I told them that I haven't read this topic. Like, they asked me whether I know about metallurgy or not. I had studied the iron carbon diagram or not. So I clearly stated that I have studied it in the college, but I didn't remember it at that moment, which I confessed. So they changed the direction of the interview, and they didn't stress on that point much. So I believe one should be quite honest and not try to be over smart. That's it.